The biggest date of the year in gaming came. Nintendo unveiled the Switch 2 launch date and game lineup. It felt similar to the Switch presentation back in 2017, but it was not the slam dunk for Nintendo. So let's review the good, the bad, the expected, and the surprising things that were shown, or not shown. The presentation opened with Mario Kart World, and Nintendo is taking a page from Xbox and Ubisoft by featuring a big open world to drive the karts outside of races. It's a good turn for Mario Kart. It felt like 8 Deluxe pushed the boundaries when it came to track quantity, so the newest Mario Kart needed to do something to not be seen as the lesser version. Nintendo followed that by talking about the C button, which was rumored to be a social feature, and it turns out that it's just a chat button. But it got worse when Nintendo announced that it would require a Switch Online subscription to use after the free trial period ends. Essentially, Nintendo wants you to pay to use in-game chat. The camera add-on is something that only streamers might buy to use as a novelty once or twice. No one will buy this, and trying to push it on games only makes it worse, since it guarantees people won't want to buy those games. The 256GB of storage was expected. Anything more would push the price up too much. But the Switch 2 will render some games in 4K and 60 FPS. I didn't expect Nintendo to go for that. I thought they would at best go for 1080p 60 FPS. But even on that, Nintendo surprised me by revealing the 1080p 120 FPS capacity. Granted, not all games will have it. Another surprising moment, but in a bad way, was the Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Nintendo honestly thought that charging people for an interactive manual was a good idea. Game Share was a nice feature. Being able to share the game to friends from a single console without forcing people to buy the game isn't a game changer, but it helps. Another expected review was the GameCube expansion to the Nintendo Switch Online, which is something people have been asking for ages. We got a sequence of studios announcing ports for the Switch 2, but I'm worried about how many of them will arrive on launch. Some of these ports are very time-consuming and may end up eating into each other's sales. The Street Fighter VI port was not a surprise for me. The PS4 version was very compromised, even for cross-gen standards. It always felt like a step towards something else, that something else being the Switch 2. Sega announcing Yakuza 0 was a surprise, even more so since it will have extra cutscenes that didn't make to the original release. I expected Yakuza to show up, but didn't expect 0 to be the one ported. I was expecting Gaiden or 7 to be the one. From Software announced Elden Ring. The Tarnished Edition name is on point because it had frame issues during the trailer. Cyberpunk 2077 is also releasing on Switch 2, but considering the quality of the Witcher 3 Switch port and all the problems Cyberpunk 2077 faced, I think the release will be very entertaining one way or another. Civilization 7 is another launch game I should have seen coming since the mouse function of the Joy-Cons opened the doors for more strategy games. The last third-party game I want to talk about is the Duskbloods, a new game from Software exclusive to the Switch 2. It's a PvPvE clearly taking some visual cues from Bloodborne, but I wonder if it's a permanent exclusive or just a temporary one. Nintendo also revealed more first-party games. Hyrule Warriors is getting a new entry that is releasing on winter. I don't have any attachment to Kirby, so the announcement of Kirby Air Riders for me is whatever, but Nintendo chose to name-drop Sakurai as director of the game. It's rare for Nintendo to acknowledge individuals within their games in this way. Good for him. Also, they finally let him out of the Smash Mines. The show ender was Donkey Kong Bonanza. The rumors about this game have been circulating for a while, so everyone thought it was going to be a Switch 1 game, but it was finally revealed it is a Switch 2 title. I don't like DK's new look, and the gameplay in itself didn't seem revolutionary, so I'll wait for more information about this game to come out before forming a stronger opinion. I also will take a moment to make a little bit of a prediction. I think Nintendo wants to repeat the first year of the Switch, where it had a first-party game releasing every month. When you look at the dates, we have Mario Kart in June and Donkey Kong in July. Hyrule Warriors is slated for winter. It could be early 2026, but I think it's going to be in December. That means the months of August, September, October, and November have yet to have games announced. Metroid Prime 4 and Kirby Air Riders are both slated for 2025. so these two will be in 2 of the 4 remaining months. That means that Nintendo still has at least 2 unannounced games for 2025. I assume those will be revealed in the summer, or at the latest in September. Once the show was over, it was apparent that Nintendo deliberately avoided talking about prices, and it didn't take long to find out why. While the $450 price tag wasn't completely unexpected, it still hurts. But what really hurt were the prices for games. While some games will cost the standard $70 of current gen, some games like Mario Kart World will cost $80. And it didn't stop there. Switch games with Switch 2 editions will cost $10 to $20 to upgrade. Nintendo also announced a Switch 2 plus Mario Kart bundle for $500, which makes me think Nintendo probably wants to push as many bundles as possible during the release. Overall, it was a good presentation, especially the third-party support, but it wasn't perfect. The price tags and charging for very mundane stuff feels like arrogant Nintendo is back in full force. Better hope this is not how they will operate in the Switch 2 era. These were my thoughts on the Switch 2 review. If you want to add something, leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you around.